Hello everyone. Welcome back to the Forts Pro League, where today we're going to be doing some live casting of your favorite games. We got a couple Forts Pro League matches set up for you guys tonight, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm here joined with Nose. Go ahead and say hello.
Hello everyone. How you all doing?
Hey,
that's good to hear.
I know chat loves seeing it when Nose is here, so I'd love to see him. We also have 42 scientists here on comms, just in case something happens.
Yeah, just in case. Nobody is going to get hurt, I hope.
Oh yeah, no, there's definitely no background activities going on. But I want to say thank you for 42 for helping put everything together, as well as Team Anati for running much of the graphics and all the pretty things that you guys enjoy. But today we're going to be putting together a fair few matches for the Forts Pro League. You can see them on screen right now. Let's go ahead and check out the matches we got. Let's see. I believe the first up will be Good Geese versus SmogSense.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to that one. I remember SmogSense joined us for the kickoff of the Forts Pro League stream, so that was exciting. One of the German teams, as it were.
One of the many, yeah.
One of the many. There are so many of them. It's a good time all around. So we are going into week 3, or about to. Yeah, so we're in week
4, actually.
Yeah, going into week 4 now of the Forts Pro League. So we've got a couple rounds for each of the teams here. Do we have the bracket that we can show, or at least the current?
Yes,
current
I think
rankings?
we do.
Excellent. Yes. So there we have the wins and losses. Sprit Plancher doing very well. You'll love to see it, as well as Cannon.
No losses. Yeah.
Yeah, no losses. That's
Always,
that means
yeah.
someone's gonna be on top.
Yep.
Now the
Very
Sprit.
nice.
What is it? The last video I dropped apparently had a typo in the name. It's Sprit Plancher, not Spirit
Yes,
Plancher.
it was
so I've got
my
to-
bad, actually. I'm sorry.
It's all your fault. How could you do this to me? Got so many comments about that. Yeah, so that has
Somehow,
been fixed.
I didn't do anything wrong in this team name for all the FPL. It's just the observer tools I messed up for some reason.
Yeah, so that's I didn't catch that either. I guess it just my brain didn't register.
Yeah.
Any case, they are currently undefeated in their group, which is quite nice. It's nice to see.
There's actually 4 teams. Oh, no, maybe. Yeah, 4 teams that have not lost a game. That's cool. So we got some very strong players here.
Yes, I mean someone's got to go. Actually, is it? Yeah. I don't think it is technically forced that someone will be that some team would be undefeated. I think it is. It's not like a standard. I'm going to say like double elimination kind of tournament where someone will be undefeated. But
yep. Sorry, I meant 2 teams, not 4 teams.
That cannon
Group
factory.
B.
Group B coming in. It looks like we already have a couple teams that have played their 4th match already, ahead of the curve.
Yep.
With the SmogSense. SmogSense did drop 1 match over the week, so I'm looking forward to seeing that one. As it stands, Group B seems to have a lot of good matches. I'm going to say a lot of teams that are quite fun to watch, I should say. Though I think it's just because the player, it's got just enough teams in it that like the teams are kind of sort of mid-ish level where we don't have any super hard stomp teams. Like I see this bracket, and sure, sure we have one team that's undefeated, but everyone else is some mix of players that we've seen before that play at a very high level, but also tend to not curb stomp the other team into the ground, just score their fort off the earth, and that makes for a rather enjoyable matches. Let's go ahead and check out Group C. Ooh, the French fries. Who's peel? One of these days I will manage to get the name right. It's just that every time I see it written out, it's just the English part of my brain just conflicts with what I know it is, and it just sometimes it doesn't come out right. But here we have Team French Fries.
At least you have a go.
I'm trying, okay? There's so many German teams. So many German teams.
I know.
Ich bin ein Einhorn. And of course, Team Gyat's one of the fan favorite teams, which is just because of the name. And also the duck. Alrighty, and Group D, Team Beaten. Unsurprisingly, unbeaten.
Mm-hmm.
Undefeated so far. Let's see, Team Greenleaf. So, Greenleaf is another one of those teams that I expect to perform extremely well. And the only reason I think or at least one of the major reasons I think they would drop a game is because they're in the same bracket as, the same group as Team Beaten.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it.
Yep. Which, theoretically,
versus Greenleaf.
Theoretically, it'll make them stronger, right?
Yes. All right, so that's looking good here. We're still getting the first match all set up and ready to go. So we got a couple minutes before the Good Geese versus SmogSense kicks off. But I'm looking forward to this one. Bombstander and Welter. The last time I saw them was in the opening day of the Forts Pro League, and I enjoyed their matches. Like, those matches were very nice. I haven't seen Team Good Geese play yet. I love the name, by the way. Especially because it's not a Canadian goose in their logo.
Yeah, it looks. I'm not quite sure what that is.
I forget the name of that breed. I think it's like a Chinese. I can't remember. That's the kind of goose that I get around my area, all the time. Like, those things they're all over the place here. But they're just geese. They act like geese. They're quite nice. In a previous place I lived, there was a flock of those geese, and I used to go visit them all the time. It took a while, but they eventually warmed up to me. Let's go ahead and check out the map vote. Boonies and Skylines both banned. Caverns up and down are picked, so the first two matches will be on Caverns, or first two rounds will be on Caverns and up and down. And in case of tie, the final one goes to Stalactites. Alrighty, so we're going to have Caverns and Stalactites, which is similar in many ways. Alrighty then. And cool. Do we have commander bans? I know we don't quite have picks yet. Yes, there are commander bans. Let's see, Pinch Fist and Hurricane are banned. We have Overdrive picked for each team. Buster! Ooh, I like Buster.
Mm-hmm.
Architect and Phantom. Alright, so things are gonna get wild, aren't they? This is going to be an interesting one. So, Buster's an unusual pick. I don't often see Buster picked outside of like 3v3s and 4v4s. It's just one of those commanders that scales with size of the map and the size of the team more than anything else. Phantom, you guys know what you guys love. Is the dirty, filthy cheese commander. Always exciting. You never quite know what's going to happen with Phantom. Architect is like the tech switch commander. It would be interesting to me to see an Architect versus Phantom matchup, because Architect is like a hyper-reactive kind of commander. It gives you the option to react to whatever your opponent's doing in extremely swift, just very, very quickly. But Phantom is just the commander that blindsides you, so I'd be curious to see what happens. It's like, oh hey, we're gonna blindside you with this, and then suddenly they just switch out into a response. Double Overdrive pick is not terribly surprising to me. Overdrive is a decently strong commander. Ever since the first tech selection, or sorry, the buff to Overdrive, which enables the upgrade center to function as T1 tech, is made it much more popular. As well, the commander itself isn't just like disgustingly powerful or anything. The ability to skip that first tier, while thematically amazing, is also just quite powerful. There are consequences, like it's not without consequence, it's just in many matches, the ability to just skip straight to a later stage of the game is quite strong, and it makes it really does make it the premium choice for more matches than I expected it to be. The joy of general use commanders that enable nothing in particular, but boost everything just a little bit. Alright, it looks like the teams are here. The match is made.
Yep.
So we'll be jumping into the first round here momentarily.
The herding has completed.
Yes. I'm so
It was
excited.
very tricky, but I got it.
Yeah.
Those are the geese that bully you when you go to school there in the Netherlands. Dude. Bullies is a good word for it. I still remember when I was like super young, I would go like feed the geese and just hang out with them for a while. And they didn't like me for like a year and a half, but eventually I just didn't go away, and they stopped caring eventually. And it was nice because I just got to hang out with them. Very warm creatures for what they are. Like you would think, like, oh, this is a bird that lives in the water. No, it's just like a little heater. It was always funny that because I could sit around the geese without getting attacked, but anyone else came by, God forbid, I got to watch and laugh. It was so funny. I think sometimes someone would come around, like another one of the neighborhood kids would come around with like a piece of bread to try to feed the geese, which is not a great thing to feed them. Like, you don't want to be feeding the bread, but
Yeah,
still
you cause a
people would do it.
frenzy, don't you?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, and of course geese, when they frenzy, oh boy,
yeah.
they get aggressive.
Yeah.
The amount of times I see someone come up, try to feed them, and just run away screaming. Oh my god, I tried so hard not to burst out laughing every single time. But ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we're good to go here, and we're off. SmogSense versus Team Good Geese. So here we have on the left-hand side is Team SmogSense. Of course, it's the classic matchup. They're playing as the Phantom Commander. Gonna get all cheesy, but joke's on them. They've been scouted. Team Good Geese here on the right-hand side in the red are playing as the Spook Commander. So this is an interesting matchup. Obviously, Spook as a just feature of Spook straight up tells Team Good Geese what their opponent's commander choice is. So Team Good Geese knows that SmogSense are playing as the Phantom Commander, and that is the biggest piece of information that Team Good Geese can get this early in the game. just knowing that your opponent is Phantom means that something is going to happen. You don't know what it is, but you need to know to be prepared for it. Which means you're not going to be playing super risky, super greedy. You're going to be taking things just on the narrow, on the straight, and just keeping things stable at all points in time. We're not going to see a lot of base wobbling. We're not going to see a lot of selling off of metal in front of the core. Things are going to be simple, easy, and not crazy out of Team Good Geese. And that's going to keep them alive. So the SmogSense doesn't just buzz out of nowhere or something. And also, there's another important element to this. When SmogSense starts trying to do cheesy stuff, which I assume they will, then Team Good Geese are going to have a better opportunity to see that coming. So we'll see what exactly is going on here. Now, as the Phantom Commander, Team SmogSense has options, a lot of options, and I'm not seeing any of them being chosen. And looks like Team SmogSense is going with something resembling a standard heavy weapons rush, which is just weird for a Phantom choice. But
I think they are expecting Spook and just using maybe the moving ability.
that is what I was about to mention, because Phantom, while known for its cheesiness, doesn't demand, it doesn't require that cheese happen. Commanders and forts don't remove your ability to use basic vanilla weaponry. It just rewards use of specific alternate tactics. And so we're not seeing a whole lot of alternate tactics being used here. But one of the benefits of Phantom is that it enables you to reposition your weapons. Typically in forts, you place a weapon down, it can't be moved. So let's say we have the sniper here, it lives there forever, and nothing happens to it. However, Phantom enables repositioning. They can take, say, this EMP and just shove it back here, if only to get it out of the way or whatever else they want to do. So I suspect we're going to see at least some of that kind of repositioning. Likely a heavy weapon placed somewhere in the internals that can be repositioned to hit from a weird angle or something of the sort. I am curious what that's going to look like. These heavy weapons typically don't benefit much from repositioning all that.
I mean, it means you only have to make one set of doors, and you can just swap out weapons.
Yes, this is very true. That AP sniper almost hitting that.
Also, I've noticed something
cannon.
very tiny but very meaningful. Team SmogSense, each time they place something important, they place a sandbag right after, so that the spook HUD on their opponents doesn't show what they just placed, and they just see a sandbag anytime.
Yes. For those wondering, Spook does actually inform. This is one of the features I don't typically mention because it's invisible to the viewer. It doesn't have any meaningful impact as far as viewership is concerned. But Spook does actually have a readout that informs the Spook players what the most recent constructed item, most recent placed item is. So let's say SmogSense puts down a cannon, Spook will get to see a pop-up on their screen that says your opponent's placed a cannon. So this is something that can be obscured. He got a hit on the sniper.
Oh wow.
That's devastating. As I was saying, that's something that can be obscured by placing another item. Let's say you were to place a cannon, your opponents will get a pop-up, but if you were to immediately place a sandbag after placing the cannon, that pop-up is then replaced by sandbag instead of showing cannon, which is
Half a second before the shield
timing.
comes up.
Well, rip all of Walter's energy production. It's just all gone. It's 5 turbines just annihilated immediately. Oh dear. That was a beautiful shot from Team Good Geese. Now this is a feature that we get to see every so often. Oh, he didn't move it in time. Oof.
Still did a lot of damage.
Yeah, that's alright. One of the benefits of Phantom is the ability to move cannons and weapons generally. And so we saw Walter move the cannon to an exposed position and then fire the cannon. Unfortunately, Team Good Geese reacted by immediately blasting the cannon out of existence. Most of the time you're able to move the cannon out, somewhere exposed, fire it, and then move it back. You see here, the cannon's exposed, fires, and doesn't quite move it back in time. Another cannon removed. I do appreciate this though, the Magna Beam cannon combo. Unfortunately, Lord Walter no longer has any cannons. They've all been destroyed. The Magna Beam has been sent back into the storage bay.
Yeah, instead of having one set of doors, Lord Walter decided to do none.
Yeah, that's a brave strategy, but alas, I believe Walter is gonna fix that here. We see what I assume is going to be a weapon emplacement. That way it can remain protected while firing, or at least some degree of protected. Out of energy. Ooh, that's painful.
And also the Magna Beam combo will not be very significant now that the players on Team Good Geese have the proper defense.
Yeah. Okay. Oh. The quad rocket in the defense grid. Brave.
I mean, they don't have anything
like
to shoot them with, so...
Yeah, no, I like it. I like it a lot. Like, Team SmogSense quite literally has no major offensive weaponry. No cannons, no plasma beams. It's just an EMP and a Magna Beam.
Whoops.
And
no Magna Beam for you.
No more Magna Beam. And no more EMP either. Oh boy.
SmogSense basically doesn't have any weapons now.
Yeah, losing those 2 cannons, that was crippling. Extremely crippling. Do we not even have... Okay, so there's still a cannon in production for Team SmogSense. It's just gonna be a little bit before it arrives. But what's gonna arrive first are these quad upgraded rocket launchers from Team Good Geese, and that's gonna be devastating. There's not nearly enough anti-air for Team SmogSense. These rockets are gonna land, and they are going to
I don't even
deal
see
some
any
damage.
anti-air.
Snipers count as anti-air, right?
Yeah, sure. If you were eaten.
If you're eating. Yeah, so this is a situation where Walter here in the lower base not going to be surviving this. He's going to need his teammate to come help him out, because that's way too many rockets, way too much DPS, way too high a repair bill.
Yeah, you cannot tank that.
At least not for very long at all. So Walter's going to get chunked down, kind of chip damage until he's out of the game in experience. Whereas Bombstender up in the top there, it's going to be making an effort to deal some damage. Lord Walter does just put out another exposed cannon, fires it and returns it back to the storage bay without getting punished, although it was close. Good Geese very nearly took it out.
Ooh.
Interesting.
It could have been painful, but it wasn't.
Yes. Now, one rocket was lost, so it looks like Team SmogSense is going to be effectively surviving this.
For now, at least.
Yes, at least for now. There's enough anti-air on the board to keep most of those rockets in check, and Lord Walter has not managed to get death spiraled here. They're still trying the Magna Beam Cannon combo, which is always a threat. Like, you can't count that out. It only takes one. One extremely well-placed cannon round coming in from behind to end the game. Or at least end a fort.
It is important to note that Alexander has a lot more eco than any other player.
Oh yes. Team Good Geese generally has more eco than SmogSense, but Alexander, the lower rightmost player for Team Good Geese, he's rich, and he's flaunting it with the giant base and adding in additional cannonry. I am curious to see how SmogSense. Ooh.
Looks like they're returning the favor.
Yeah. Looks like this is, everyone's got Magna Beams on the mind. You know, every time SmogSense cloaks, Team Good Geese just doesn't care and snipes out their weapons anyways. Which is kind of impressive. Oh,
wow.
That was almost game-ending shot right there.
Was
Hit
painfully
some
close.
that was painfully close is a good description, yes.
Yeah, looks like TNV is not going to let this happen again.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't already hard-walled all
Yeah.
that. I know
No, I don't think there is
Alexander-
any singular shot that can take them out.
Yeah, Alexander is already effectively immune to that, I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think the Magna Beam madness is going to be making a comeback here. At least not out of Team SmogSense. We're still going to see it from Team Good Geese.
Because, yeah, Walter is very vulnerable to this strat.
Yes.
Really?
Just devastating. Every time he fires, even it just gets punished for it. Yeah, Team SmogSense just doesn't have enough damage output. They don't have weaponry anymore. It keeps getting destroyed. Classic. Honestly, the damage output for both teams is a little low. Good Geese has more, certainly, by a lot, but it isn't quite enough to be properly breaking things. And another plasma goes down.
And the fire beam
And
too.
another fire beam. Yeah, SmogSense is just losing everything. They don't have things left. This is not a great experience for Team SmogSense. They keep getting... It almost feels like they're trying to do a bit of a meme match here, and they're just getting punished for it. Like, outplayed really hard.
Looks like TNV is adding some silos on top of his mines. That will be devastating.
Yeah, I think that would potentially be the damage output they need to just end the game outright.
As well as the howitzer from Alexander, almost finished.
Yes. I imagine Lord Walter can sustain hits from the howitzer. There's also a good chance the howitzer doesn't make it across the field. But I would think the howitzer's not quite enough to end the game. Maybe howitzer combined with the rockets. Then that seems to be a struggle. The rockets at this point are more so just keeping the anti-air in check, which may guarantee or at least permit the howitzer to more reliably get across the board, but I'm just not convinced the howitzer is enough to end the game here. Those nukes certainly are. Alright, well, I stand corrected. It was quite enough. Lord Walter falls, howitzer double cannon combo, and SmogSense loses a fort. Still trying to Magna Beam, but with buzzsaws this time. Why are you like this? Immediately Alexander replacing wooden structure with metal structure just to
Wow.
Oh.
That was what a door snipe.
Okay.
Oh wow.
So remember all the commentary I've had about, oh hey, this is why you got to be careful about placing your lasers and weapons in front of your core, because if you get door sniped you lose the game. Well, there's an example.
Yeah. That was amazing.
A beautiful shot. SmogSense with the beautifully aimed and timed laser just removes TNV. It's gonna leave Team Good Geese with a single fort. Mind you, the single fort just so happens to have the most eco in the game. They also are gonna be struggling to do anything else here, because Good Geese's last remaining fort is a little big. You can't really get any bigger without causing catastrophe. They're gonna struggle to expand here, at least a little bit. Whereas SmogSense doesn't quite have that expansion woes, but also doesn't really have anything available up to them at the moment in terms of pressure. Yeah, Team Good Geese needs to rearrange their weaponry and their doors to enable a firing solution onto SmogSense. I'm liking the buzzsaw spam here. It's just something simple to do some damage. Not so cheap, but easy, simple, applies pressure. A lot of pressure at times. At least buys some time while Team Good Geese tries to reconfigure their base. Although I'm not seeing a whole lot of reconfiguring here. It looks like they're relying almost solely on the howitzer, which is not going to be enough. Mind you, the sniper could be enough if it keeps sniping out all those weapons, which they seem to be
Yeah,
doing.
they keep leaving exposed weapons.
That's brave. Howitzer lands, but Team Good Geese doesn't have any follow-up weapons available. Like, they kind of really need to readjust their cannon doors. Like, heavily readjust them. The buzzsaws are certainly keeping Team SmogSense kind of bottled into a smaller fort. It's worth noting that Team SmogSense is investing into nukes, so there may be surprise nuclear launch here in a minute. They're not quite ready to fire just yet. They still have some more work to do on that end, but that is coming, and as it stands, Team Good Geese is not prepared for it. So things could go very wrong for Team Good Geese very quickly. Oh, the upgrade center goes down again. Oh dear.
I think they're waiting for the Magna Beam to shoot those cannons.
I think so as well. I think their plan was to reconfigure the foundations of their base. As we see here, they've sold off a mine, added some 4 long doors, redid their stability tech, and then afterward they've added a bit more weaponry, and specifically a Magna Beam. And this will enable the cannons to fire from below.
With some better timing, they could have the kill, yeah.
Yes, indeed. So that is their plan. They're not looking to redo the doors, they're looking to use Magna Beams for it. Oh, those buzzsaws are getting actual damage done.
The panic sent back to the rescue.
Seriously. Between the howitzers, the snipers, and the buzzsaws, Team SmogSense is just kind of being suppressed almost out of the game. And Magna Beam. Oh. A beautiful hit, good timing. Didn't quite nail the core. Yeah. The eco is now exposed. The snipers are coming
also.
for the mines. Oh, the swarms. They go down.
They have become visible since they were disconnected.
Those buzzsaws doing a lot of work. Here comes another volley of Magna cannons. Are they not going to be firing? I think they're redoing the Magna Beam door before firing again. They're playing real cautious. Oh, that. Yeah, okay, it was vulnerable. Okay. Wait, did they lose? No, the plasma is still there. And there's the shot. Took them a moment, but they got it done. Team Good Geese wins it. Off the back of Magna Beam cannons. That one, I'm convinced that SmogSense was going Magna Beam cannons, and Good Geese said, nah, you can't do this to us, we do this to you. That's what I think happened there. Alrighty then. Let's get set up for round 2. Do we have a replay of that beautiful shot?
I hope so.
Yes. The first elimination. Almost immediate follow-up.
Oh, just missed.
Just missed it. Clean through the door, going straight into straight into the core. And then the Magna Beam cannons from below.
Yeah.
Magna Beam cannons is always a pleasant experience.
Hmm.
To watch. Less so to experience. Like tier 3s. They come from below or above. One of the two.
Yeah, I like that when it evens out like that.
Oh yeah,
Where
it makes for great
you know
matches.
what I mean? You get that 2-on-1 thing. It's pretty inevitable, but occasionally you see the player that's, or the team that's down, just gives a nice little quick, right hand jab in the right spot.
It's the lasers half the time. They're so good.
Mm.
All right, we are almost ready for the next round.
Incursus, are you familiar with the Good Geese players?
I remember Alexander. I don't know that I recall TNV.
Hmm.
I've seen the team before.
Okay.
I know they're relatively new to the scene. I don't have a good feeling or experience with their skill level, but they're making for some great games. I will say that.
I agree.
All right. Looks like we're about ready to go. Let's jump into the next round. I see. Okay.
Oh, okay. Maybe
Minor
some
technical
range.
minor technical difficulties. Will be
that's fine.
rejoining and then kicking it off. Alrighty then.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Let's
There we
go.
go.
Let's do this. Alright, and we're off to round 2. Team Good Geese versus SmogSense. Coming off the back of the first round, Team Good Geese has 1 point to their name. Thus, it is Team SmogSense that has to fight their way through. Either Team SmogSense takes victory here, or they take a loss. Oof. Alexander dropping a piece of metal. A little painful. Not the end of the world. Not a mirror match this time. Team SmogSense on the left-hand side playing as the Overdrive Commander. Facing off against their opponents on the right hand. In the red, it's Team Good Geese as the Architect Commander. I think I personally prefer playing as Architect over Overdrive. The tech switch speeds and abilities just make it so much more fluid. It's also nice to have the cheaper wood, where cheaper wood is, it helps. It helps immensely for defending many things. It's just E42, everything else is clear.
Yeah, okay, that's cool. Just rejoin.
The cheaper wood actually enables some defense styles that are typically not, I'm going to say not viable as reasonable defenses. Things like catching a nuke with a wooden spoke. Very effective when playing Architect. Less reasonable, less effective when playing not Architect, because the build speed bonus for Architect enables you to actually have that spoke constructed before the nuke lands. We do see SmogSense taking advantage of the upgrade center quirk, where the top player Walter is skipping tier 1 tech, or at least using the upgrade center as tier 1 tech, whereas the other player, Bombstender, is not skipping tier 1 tech. They're both getting an upgrade center and the workshop, presumably for portal nukes, which does kind of imply that Team SmogSense is going for a later gameplay, which does explain the focus on upgraded eco over anything else. On the other side, Team Good Geese. They have a token EMP, but otherwise going directly to heavy weapons. So this looks like a pretty standardish heavy weapons play, not super rush. We are seeing an upgrade center out of Alexander here. Good hit with the EMP. Shuts down the core and some of the progress for Lord Walter. Lord Walter not going to let that happen again. A couple snipers coming out for Team SmogSense will help keep that EMP in check. We're going straight for the AP option. Is TNV selling off the... No, not selling off the... Not selling off just yet. Oh, it's penetrating. Okay. Doesn't... Yeah, that's scary. If they were not architects, that would not have come online. Would have not completed construction in time to defend the core, and Alexander could have just been eliminated there. Alexander did also slap down a metal store to face tank to take the hit, sacrifice for the core. So Alexander would have survived regardless, but that was some very, very quick reaction speed from Alexander there. Well done. Also, good scouting out of Team SmogSense, recognizing that Team Good Geese was getting a little greedy with the defenses on their core, which they're continuing to do again, replacing the foundation defenses with a plasma beam, which is going to be an issue. Yes. I'm not at all surprised to see Bombstender, SmogSense, going with the portal nuke strat. Already has 4 swarm launchers down and is upgrading one of them to a nuke. Upgrading a second one to a nuke now. It is cannons for both players in the top forts, and both players have 2 cannons apiece. It's worth noting that TNV, Good Geese on the right hand side, did not invest in additional eco, so they will be ahead of the cannon firing time. That's just because they built cannons instead of additional income. Whereas Lord Walter, SmogSense on the left, their cannons are notably behind their opponents, but they do have extra eco to go with it. Oh, that's sad. That could have been devastating. Oh dear. Any more follow-up shots? TNV is ready to fire. Is not quite firing just yet. Giving Lord Walter time to catch up, which is definitely a mistake. The one benefit that Good Geese has right now is their construction time, which enables them to fire their weapons sooner and put SmogSense into the death spiral before they catch up. Whereas SmogSense, with their additional eco, is looking to draw out the game long enough for that eco to pay off, which is it's going to be the case. God, that's so much anti-air. Not even a swarm missile makes it halfway across the field. Like, I understand that those swarm missiles and nukes were not hidden. Like, Team Good Geese knew it was coming, but holy smokes, that is a very effective point defense. Alright, so how does this proceed from here? Looks like SmogSense just gonna launch another volley. Fire beam, plasma beam combo? Maybe? No? Okay. Trading cannon fire. So despite the near impenetrable quantities of anti-air, I do actually credit SmogSense with being a bit further ahead in this game. And this is for two reasons. One, the top forts. Lord Walter versus TNV, just in a direct matchup, have the same things, but Lord Walter just has more eco, which means that Lord Walter will inevitably have more things. Additionally, in the lower forts, SmogSense is just more aggressive. That's it. Yeah, sure, those nukes are very unlikely to get across, but until Alexander manages to translate this safety into some kind of pressure, there's just nothing going on down there. Look at that, no damage, just across the board. Lord Wartzel still investing in economy. Just no one's firing their weapons. It's just not happening.
More.
Alright, gotta use the plasma defensively. There they go. The cannons
I like how
exchange.
the back turbines connect on the
Yeah.
holders.
Just off of this little spidery strut.
Yeah.
Oop. His sniper doing his sniper things. Alright, and third cannon. TNV takes a hit, but both players for the top forts are up to 3 cannons apiece.
Good fireman defense.
Oh! The nuke actually lands it. It's gonna do some damage. Nothing like crippling, but damage is damage. It's a good start. Walter, you have floated 90,000 energy and you're not firing your cannons. Why are you like this?
He's too afraid of door snipes, probably.
I mean, I don't blame him, but like, why are you like this?
He could have shot like, what, 30 times?
Something like that. This is one of those situations where the round could have been all but entirely over with that amount of cannons that have not been fired.
Ooh.
Huh. Alexander gets a nuke online and lands it. Team SmogSense, unlike Team Good Geese, does not have much in the way of anti-air, and they're feeling it. Look at that. TNV's defense is already penetrated with just 3 more cannon rounds flying across. Core down to 70%. Oof. Here come the nukes. Makes it across again. No significant damage. Okay. Oh, so many cannon rounds just clean into the sandbags. That hurts. Oh, that was real close. Oh, does he make it? Third shot? Oh, doesn't
So
make it.
close.
TNV's armor was penetrated, but Lord Welch doesn't quite land the shot, knocking his core down to 48%, but it's not lethal. Team Good Geese is still in this round. The disrespect, just Lord Walter just building a cannon out there again. Undefended.
I mean, if no one notices, that's fine.
TNV already noticed once and sniped it out once, and he's just doing it again.
Ooh,
It's not like TNV doesn't have weapons.
But does he have the angle?
He's definitely waiting for the door snipe. Oh, so close again. TNV penetrated, but doesn't... not destroyed, down to 35%. Here comes the
Alexander really
missiles
needs
again.
to get those nukes across before his teammate loses it. Ooh.
Oh,
Wow, that was close.
yep.
TNV building denser goose pumps than in my days. Which is impressive.
It's a way to not get penetrated, but that's an expensive defense there.
Yeah, because
Oh,
we used
switching
to make
targets.
super dense foot spams.
Oh, Bombstender just saving Walter there, but getting
But
door
being door
sniped for it.
sniped.
Honestly, I still think that's a good trade. Those nukes would have
Yeah, yeah.
landed, and that would likely have been lethal to Lord Walter. Like, Bombstender
Yeah, right in
just
that
kept
shield
them in the
there.
game.
Have
Yes.
been devastating.
Like, yeah, you lost to Plasma, but I think there was no... The alternative was worse.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing it again. He's
But
gonna
now
need...
he doesn't have another plasma, so
He doesn't have a fire beam to burn, now he's gonna have to rely on a minigun. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, but
Alright,
he does
catches
have
it
some
with a-
relative defense.
Yes, he catches it with a catcher, a nuke catcher, which is enough.
We need some reactive armor in forts.
Can you imagine? Is that a Magna Beam? That
Yes.
man built a Magna Beam. Why are you like this?
Because he might just be able to destroy the cannon tower.
He might. That is an option. Oh, no
Oh,
ablative
this
armor.
time,
Yep.
Makes it,
there we
and
go.
that's it. That's the shot I was talking about.
Yeah.
It only needed one nuke too. I thought it was gonna need both. Well, there you have it. Seems SmogSense getting nuked, losing an entire fort in the process.
It will be hard to come back from.
Very hard. Without that upper fort, because it was the upper fort for Team SmogSense that had advantage in this game. Like they were the most ahead, and would have eventually killed everyone on Team Good Geese if not eliminated. But the Dukes made it across and eliminated them, so now they really don't... Team SmogSense really doesn't have anything left. Like, they have the nuke
They
launchers,
catch
but...
by the slimmest of margins.
They do. Which, while impressive to watch, will save them an extra 2 cannons. And there it goes. Team Good Geese wins round 2 and this best of 3. Taking 1 point, adding to their score in the Forge Pro League. Well done, well done.
That was entertaining. I like that.
Yeah, I was going to say, Group B, great group. I love Group B. It's been my favorite group so far. But yeah, let's go ahead and check out the replays on this. Yeah, only 1 nuke made it, but that was enough. And it all comes crumbling down. Beautiful. A little bit of crunchiness. Yeah, that I must say that was nice to see SmogSense managing to catch their fort on the way down, but there was no change in the outcome of that game.
No.
Alrighty then. We'll go to a quick intermission while we get set up with the next round. But make sure to grab your drinks and get ready because we've got the next round, next matchup coming up here in a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Forts Pro League. Hope you all have got your drinks, gotten up to stand, to stretch, because we've got the next match coming up here in just a minute. Coming up, we have Team XD Sigma, that's Ryabjik and ZV, versus Falini, Spaghetti, and Kuba.
I like these little accents you took while saying Pampolinci.
I can't help it, it's too perfect an opportunity.
I do it as well.
These are teams and players we've seen throughout the FPL. Not new to the FPL, though. Haven't gotten like any top tier wins yet. Solid mid tier players, which means I'm expecting this to be a good matchup. Is what I'm expecting. It's one of my favorite brackets where we have upper tier players, not quite top end where things get a bit snowbally, but just solid upper tier players just smashing against each other. They make for the best games. Alright, give us another minute while we set up the rounds, complete the cat herding. We'll go ahead and check out the map votes and bans, picks and bans during this time. Looks like first match will be on Stalactites 2v2. Classic howitzer match. Going into vanilla for the second round. Oh, rip wind force. And for the final, up and down 2v2 in case we get to the tiebreak. All right. For Commanders, Overdrive and Hurricane are both banned. So, kind of surprised to see Hurricane banned. Hurricane is not a super oppressive commander, but generally good commander. For picks, we have Spook, Buster, and Armadillo for Team XD. And then Pinchfist, Warthog, and a Spook. Ooh, potential Spook mirror match. I am still surprised to see Buster. It's I want to see one of the teams actually use Buster, so I can get like eyes on what their strategies are with it. Like it's got to be just cannons. Like, is it actually 20s? Are they trying like empowered 20s? Like what?
I think howitzers work as well.
Yeah, howitzers and nukes work as well, but like, what is the actual plan there? Because I don't know what it is.
You basically just play it like a Warthog game.
That's what I would think. Like, it's just playing it as if you're playing Warthog, right? It's just like a kind of sort of worse Warthog option.
I mean, worse, not. I'd just say different, I guess. One is more penetrative and the other is just big damage.
Yeah, but cannons with big damage are penetrative.
Yeah.
So like, I'm just curious. Like I can only imagine it has to be standard cannon spam, but like, I'm just curious. I want to see it. But it looks like the match is made. Players are ready, so let's jump into the action. Team XD Sigma versus Falini. Alrighty then. Let's find out what the first commander choices are. And Stalactites 2v2. It's Armadillo versus Pinchfist. Okay, so this will be an interesting one. God, this is gonna be a messy one, I think, to start. So XD Sigma here on the left-hand side, playing as the Armadillo Commander. Armadillo Commander is particularly defensive in nature, gets cheaper metal, basically gets to just tank hits effectively and indefinitely, and in doing so makes it hard to kill, to put it nicely. Generally speaking, Armadillo Commanders like to go to the late game and have the tools to get there alive. On the other side, Fanfelici here on the right hand side in the red, playing as the Pinchfist Commander. Pinchfist Commander doesn't really get any late game bonuses. Its whole gimmick is that it gets a boost in the early game by virtue of selling off unnecessarily internals. And when I say unnecessary, I mean strictly unnecessary. Like, everything that can be sold will be sold. And they do this because they get their money back for it. Because they get their money back for it, they can spend it on more important early game elements. Things like extra eco or tech and such. This gets you a boost in the early game, and so you get a quicker time to complete your first weapons, and generally get more damage out in the early game. But that kind of benefit doesn't really help you beyond the 7-ish minute mark. So that's just rude. The sniping from both players of Team XD Sigma actually killing an entire turbine. And they have the token EMP coming out to play. Good Lord have mercy. Are we not gonna see late game elements out of XD Sigma? Like, I don't see heavy weapons tech. I see tier 1 tech into upgrade center, which is either gonna be okay, no, they are going heavy weapons. I was like, no, you're not doing this, are you? But no, it's just a token EMP, probably upgraded mines into heavy weapons. Honestly, that EMP is doing wonderful work. That's shut the core down several times now. And they just keep hitting them. Spaghetti getting bullied by the EMP over and again. You know, typically once the sniper comes out, the EMP has a very, very short lifespan. But the EMP has just been chain disabling Spaghetti's solo sniper, and in doing so has locked him out of progress. And now, yeah, and there's the AP sniper from ZV. Spaghetti's not reacting fast enough. Gonna get one more shot. Oh! Catches it with a sandbag. Wouldn't have been lethal anyways, but oh boy, that was close. So technically that AP sniper still has a shot on the core, and I don't know if he's gonna try to make that shot. Yes, yeah, and he makes the shot.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's about to take it out.
Spaghetti down to 10%. Nothing has changed.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it. A single AP sniper. Not even
Yeah.
a dirty, filthy cheese. Like, that's the kind of thing you'd expect out of a Phantom player, but not. That's just Armadillo, and Fanfelici loses a whole fort. Okay. Well, that's gonna put Team Fanfelici into the on the back foot. What makes it even worse is that Fanfelici's upper player was planning to go for like early mid-game aggression, and just got bullied by an EMP and a sniper. That is one of the consequences of doing Pinchfist Rush. You sell off all strictly unnecessary things.
Yep.
And that's it. You get punished for it. Well then, I don't know what Team Fanfelici can do here. At this point, there's not a whole lot of benefit to being Pinch Fist. The time for Pinch Fist supremacy is kind of sort of past. XD Sigma is heavily laden with armor of every kind, and they have upgraded economies. Fanfelici needs like an order of magnitude more firepower than they currently possess in order to break through XD Sigma's and Armadillo defenses here. XD Sigma's going to be able to do whatever they want, and at the moment, I can't imagine they want anything more than just building more weaponry. Yeah, it looks like another weapons platform down here for Ryabjik, and ZVXQ is reconstructing his front of the fort right now, doing some additional defenses, probably gonna build a weapons platform somewhere in there. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, another plasma placed for Ryabjik in the lower fort. Fanfelici just doesn't have the power to break through things right now. Let's see. I'm curious to see what ZVXQ is going to do. Is it just the howitzer? Like, typically it's a howitzer plus something else. Like, I'm partial to the standard cannon. A lot of players will prefer a 20mm, but I'm not seeing either yet for ZVXQ. It's just the howitzer right now.
I think he will just get it with some more root spam.
Yeah, that seems to be the choice. Ryabjik focusing on the door snipe despite the current conditions. That's an experience.
That's filthy.
It is. Like, of all the players that should be aggressive right now, Ryabjik is like in the peak position to be aggressive, but he's not. He's just like sitting there waiting for a door snipe, which, I mean, that just hurts. Like, as Fanfelici. Oh, he gets both of them. Oh my
wow.
god. Oh, that's something you don't see every day. If Fanfelici going with the fire beam plasma beam combo, dealing just enough damage to Ryabjik to cause Ryabjik's plasma beam to splash, to just sweep across Fanfelici's fort, and in that sweep caused it to door snipe both of Fanfelici's weapons. That's painful. Well, this has been a particularly one-sided match, and it's not going to get any less one-sided. Also, ZV's second weapon was not a 20mm or a cannon, it was a second howitzer. Just pointing that out. Okay, so it's gonna be another minute here before XD Sigma gets lethal power, I think. Unless they very neatly align this howitzer plasma combo, which they could do. Actually, that is lethal damage if the plasmas follow up. Looks like the plasmas are not gonna follow up. Oh, they are gonna follow up? Question mark? They're not really following up. Okay, he tried.
Yeah, he's just doing his own thing.
Yeah, he's just doing his own thing. A third howitzer.
3 howitzers,
I mean,
yeah.
why not? Like, that's the appropriate response. Just get greedy with it. They're not gonna reply to you. Like, they don't have weapons, and you know they don't have weapons. So just build your own weapons and smash them. These snipers, I gotta say, ZV has been on the spot with these snipers all game, and I approve. Alright, that's gonna be a good howitzer hit. Follows up.
There we
Does
go.
that do it? That does it. Just like that. Team Fanfrelinci is knocked out of round 1 in this best of 3. Yeah, so that was particularly one-sided. Off the back of some early game harassment that translated into a full kill. You don't see that every day. Like, that's one of those situations where this only happens against pinch fist players. That's just how that works.
The greed undoes them.
It was a lot of greed is what that is. Alright, so let's go ahead and check out that beautiful sniper shot. I want to see that, the thing that ended the game for one of these teams. It's just a shot going clean through the wood span, like between sandbags. And then here, just the lasers slicing the foundation nodes out of existence. Yeah, that'll do it. Kaboom. Alright, well, there we have that. Alrighty then. Give us a moment while we get set up for the next round, and we'll be jumping into it. Team XD Sigma in a quite dominant showing takes round 1 in this best of 3. Fanfrelinci going to have to step up their game. I believe they can. I've seen them do it before, but they're going to have to step up their game. Okay. Must have randomized teams. Why are you like this? I don't like my teammate. Can I have yours? Good lord. Alright, so next map will be on Vanilla Large. Vanilla is known as a map that with kind of oppressive wind floors. Oppressive is a bit strong of a word, but more impactful wind floors than in most other maps. So we won't be seeing rear wind turbines here. Instead, they'll be... Oh, I mean, we might see them. We might see them. But they won't be as impactful, or at least not as powerful as they would be on other maps. Obviously, rear wind turbines are safe, so you never really avoid seeing them. But the first few turbines will be on top. Is the expected outcome, is the expected situation here. For this reason, you can kind of sort of expect some pretty heavy leans for the bases. We'll see how that actually turns out. But it looks like the players are ready, so we should be jumping into the next round here in a moment. Let's see this. Alright, and we're off to round 2. Team Fanfrelinci versus XD Sigma. It's Fanfrelinci on the left-hand side as the Warthog commander, playing against their opponents on the right-hand side in the red. It's Team XD Sigma as the Spook commander. And yeah, all right. So we're seeing base leans and upper turbines. This is exactly how I expected this to go. A classic vanilla match. And extraordinary here so far. Look at all those wobbly cores. So I'm looking to see if anything unusual happens here. I'm not seeing anything extraordinary, nor would I expect anything extraordinary given the team compositions. It is worth noting that the red team on the right hand side already has 1 point in this best of 3, so if they win this round they will defeat their opponents in totality. So Falini has to really make something happen. The blue team left side needs to make something happen or they're just going to get knocked out. Knocked out of today's activities at least. The most unusual thing I'm seeing so far is a third turbine for Falini's lower fort. Typically you would only get 2 turbines unless you are pinch fist and you need the extra energy. But a minor detail in the grand scheme of things. Ryabjik opening with an upgrade center instead of a tier 1 tech. They're not playing as overdrive, so the upgrade center does not count as a tier 1 tech. Given opening an upgrade center like this doesn't progress toward damage output, I'm expecting that Team 2 as a total is expecting to go for some late game play. We are seeing a core ejection from Ryabjik, which completely changes the math on that. I didn't expect a core ejection, but that means that they're going for co-op on death strats.
Oh, they missed it.
Didn't quite nail the clean eject. They lose a mine in the process, but that's not that big a deal, all things considered. So with this, Team XD Sigma goes down to a single core. Oh, is punishment coming for them? Not really, it's a single buzzsaw. Single buzzsaw can do a lot, but it's not gonna be game ending here. Yeah, okay, so that does explain why... It does explain the weird tech choice for, or at least the unusual tech choice for Team XD Sigma, as because they were intending to merge their bases, they did not require every tech to be placed, so they just went upgrade center and let it go. This does mean that there is a more efficient path to progress here for Team XD Sigma. It also means that Team XD Sigma has fewer in critical points to defend. A triple sniper from Team XD Sigma. I'm wondering if that's going to go to triple AP or just keep it.
I would guess AP,
is. Typically, when I see triple sniper, like it's the AP sniper, because the triple AP sniper is the critical points, the break point for 2-shotting a core. And so if you see triple sniper, it's typically for that purpose. But also, nothing about these bases to me says triple AP sniper is the way to go. So I would consider leaving them as standard snipers just to sniper spam. Especially given that they're going mortars, like make them be a problem. No buzzsaws out of XD Sigma. Typically, if you see triple sniper, it's the buzzsaws break the core open, break open the defenses, which allow the triple sniper to do their work. But we're not seeing a buzzsaw here. It's just mortars. I say just mortars as if mortars aren't a beautiful choice. Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. And XD Sigma building cannons to keep the offensive firepower going. Triple sniper. Doing triple sniper things.
Applying some solid pressure.
Yeah,
This
for
bait
this...
water is really good.
It is. It's working really well. What is it called? The triple AP sniper, while it's applying pressure, isn't actually getting much value. And so it makes me hesitant to desire triple sniper here. Nice plasma, takes out some turbines, brief disconnect, it's going to cause some disruption to the control groups. I'm gonna be honest, in this position, I would be super tempted to just put a return to sender in front of that core. Or maybe like, probably one of those like scattered return to senders where you don't have it adjacent to each other making a big block, but instead just like put a gap in between it to force the opponents to either choose to try to thread the needle or just completely avoid shooting in that area entirely. I like that idea, especially as XD Sigma's position here. Just to deter Team Falini from getting involved around anywhere near the core. Because yeah, the Team Falini is probably gonna go like mostly core here. God, that bait mortar is working ridiculously well.
Yeah, but they have enough in tiers, so it's not too much of an issue.
Yeah, it's not too much of an issue. I would still like to see it. Because they only have one core. Oh, ho, 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 a devastating hit. Okay. Well, that's gonna be a lot. Team XD Sigma investing heavily into energy shields now. Which definitely are an alternative and kind of a opportunity cost. I do appreciate Team Falini going for a variety of weapons. They have both energy, weaponry, like plasmas, and they have cannons. Triple energy shield defending their turbines on top. That's just painful to see. Like, I get it, they're keeping their energy production alive and safe, but man, that's cutting into their energy production a lot. Warthog and powered weaponry just does so much damage. So at this point, XD Sigma is a little low on the damage output. They have mortars, but those mortars are not landing with any, like, at all. They have 2 cannons, but 2 cannons does not a fort break. Team XD Sigma needs to ramp up their weaponry. On the other side, Falini is struggling to ramp up their weaponry. They're not floating metal, but they're also struggling to expand. Mostly due to the attritional experience of dealing with mortars. Honestly, those mortars are doing more damage than I expected them to. Okay.
Yeah, they're still digging.
Yeah, and it's every time they land, they're doing damage, and that damage it has to be repaired. And that those repair costs are just keeping Team Falini just where they are,
solid doorstep,
unable to expand. Yeah, beautiful. Laser goes down. Falini loses their plasma beam, and with the plasma beam lost, Team XD Sigma is not gonna have a lot of pressure on them anymore. It's like it's only 2 cannons from Spaghetti in the top 4 hitting XD Sigma, so XD Sigma here is in the lead, just like at game state wise. It is worth noting that Spaghetti up here does have a howitzer in production, which will be relevant, as Team XD Sigma has absolutely no anti-air, and I suspect won't be developing any in the foreseeable future. So that howitzer, when it... Oh, the turbines, they're all gone. Okay. Well... Oh no, and it collapses, and it all comes crumbling down. Well, most of it comes crumbling down. Spaghetti does survive. He does survive, and he's got... he still has some base eco. Not out of it yet. He's not doing very well. He's not healthy, he's putting it nicely. Okay, well that's... that's just the nail in the coffin. Spaghetti, I believe, no longer has the ability to defend themselves or even recover.
He's still alive.
In this context. The only way he survives is if Kuba keeps him alive, like actively defends for him, which you cannot do to cannons. Cannons cannot be defended against. I think the best case scenario is he sells off everything. Yeah, okay. I was about to say, like, best case scenario is like he sells off everything and like ejects his core, but that's the end of that. So Falini loses a core, and with it Team XD Sigma just kind of becomes indomitable. There's not enough firepower for Team Falini. Having lost their laser weaponry already, Falini doesn't have anything currently present to apply pressure. And yeah, sure, they're rebuilding the Firebeam Plasma Beam combo, but it's kind of too little too late. At this stage of the game, XD Sigma's defenses are thick enough that the Firebeam Plasma Beam isn't going to deal any real damage. They can get a door snipe, but even then, we're not talking about lethal amounts of damage here. There's going to be a lot of incoming firepower that Falini will have to tank, even just to survive long enough to consider getting a door snipe. It's a very tall mountain to climb. And those mortars are just doing damage. Like a lot of it. And the cannon follow-up. Ooh, clean overpen on that second cannon. But the third one hits again. Pre-sniping the doors. The fire beam gets taken out before it even has an opportunity to fire. Like, it's not... I don't see a path to coming back here. It's spite. It's a spite laser. And just there it goes. And that should be complete and total checkmate. Falini no longer has any way of fighting back. It's just a matter of Team XD Sigma taking the final pieces, making the final moves, and claiming victory here. I think the only way XD Sigma messes this up is if they fumble, like collapsing themselves, which, to be clear, has happened before.
Yeah, it is not impossible, just unlikely.
Very unlikely.
I mean, now they have no
next
incentive
volley.
to build anything else. Shouldn't be able to collapse.
Yes. Their current set of tools is sufficient, as we see. Are they going to finish with the buzzsaw? They are going to finish with the buzzsaw, and that's it. And there we have it. Team XD Sigma, in what is a fairly clean-cut match, wins this round, wins this matchup 2-0 over their opponents. Falini is knocked out of today's activities. Let's go ahead and check out the replays of those matches. I want to see what happened to poor Spaghetti's base. It got bashed up pretty badly. Here we see the first core rejection. Not perfectly clean, but decent nonetheless. And it all comes crumbling down. God, look how it's just so satisfying every time the bases crumble like that. This makes me happy every time. Makes me happy every time. Of course, death by buzzsaws. What are the more anticlimactic ways to go? But buzzsaws are the solution for that kind of defense, and they're very good at it. Alrighty then, we're getting set up for the next round. Alright guys, we're going to take a 5-minute intermission here while we get set up for the next round. I think you guys are going to very, very much so enjoy this next one. So make sure to grab your drink, stand up and stretch, and get ready. We'll see you guys back in 5 minutes. welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've stand up and stretched, gotten your drinks, because we're ready to go once again. And here is going to be a team matchup that I think you all guys are going to be very much so enjoying, because I know I am. Looking over here, I'm excited already. Let's go ahead and show off the map picks between Anime Gun Team and Greenleaf. Team Greenleaf, one of the more popular teams around these parts. Dranistian and Tar. Now, Anime Gun Team is actually a team that I haven't seen play just yet.
I think it's yet another Russian team.
Ooh. Now that's an audience. Alright, let's see what the first map is going to be. It's going to be not Skylines and not Sacred Dunes. It will be Stalactites. Okay, so we might get to see some howitzer play here. Followed by Snow Leopards. Snow Leopards is an interesting pick. It's an unusual pick. Here. And the tie break will be on up and down 2v2. Alright, and for commander selection. For bands, Pinch Fist and Overdrive. Not a surprise. For picks, Architect and Buster. You know, we've seen Buster picked as an option quite a lot, but not actually used. Wow, Buster's selected as an option for both teams. But Seep and Moonshine. Moonshine... Wow, that is an interesting lineup. Buster, Moonshine, and Seep. None of these are your general purpose commanders. These are all kind of niche commanders that you don't see outside a very specific strategy. Okay, alright, well, we're going to see some interesting play, if not somewhat predictable-ish play out of Greenleaf. But we'll see how that works out. But I believe we are ready to go. The players are ready, the match is made. Let's jump into the action, shall we? Alright, and we're off. Team Greenleaf versus Anime Gun Team. As here we have on the left-hand side, it is Team Greenleaf. Tar and Dranistian are playing as the Buster commander, facing off against their opponents. On the right-hand side, in the red fort, it's Anime Gun Team, playing as the Architect commander. This will be a... What am I looking for here? So, with the Buster commander, I'm not entirely sure what to look for here. I can imagine it's just got to be like cannon spam. I can imagine it's going to be just standard play on this map, because this map tends to dictate weaponry more than anything else. So I'm imagining it's going to be howitzers from Tar in the top base, and either lasers or cannons from Dranistian in the bottom base. Whereas on the right hand side, they're playing Architects, so they can be real flimsy and loose with what their build orders are, but I still expect the same end weaponry set, where it's howitzers in the top base and lasers or cannons from the bottom base, like standard cannons. Things would have to get weird to change that. Double upgrade center for Greenleaf. Okay. The next few seconds should determine what builds that Anime Gun Team are going for. And that will... Oh, hello.
Oh.
It's a rocket rush out of Team Greenleaf. Did not expect at all. Love to see. Wow, that
Hey,
is a very
Rockets
hefty...
do get empowered, so...
That is a very hefty development in Rocket Rush, and for the Rocket Rush. It's not even like a partial Rocket Rush, this is an all-in. But yeah, it is double cannons out of Anime Gun Team, so I do expect to see how it's your cannon for Anime Gun Team. I also expect them to die. They are not reacting to this. Like, this is... Guys, okay, they're starting to react a little bit, I think. Oh, they sold off their flak
upgrade
tech. Oh, they didn't get the flak
was-
tech with the other workshop. Ooh, Anime Gun Team is not scouting. Oh, those are cannon weapon platforms. Oh no. Oh, this is gonna hit so hard. Completely unscouted. Oh, and you love to see that as Team Greenleaf. Your EMP splashing across the fort and hitting nothing on the internals means they have no internals to hit. It just means they have nothing. Anime Gun Team is just gonna get rocket rushed. There is no surviving this as Oda-sen here. You have to... The only way to survive this is if your teammate rescues you, and your teammate has nothing. Oh, that's it.
Oh wow.
And he's gone. And now it's just gonna domino effect across. There goes all the anti-air. Here come the rockets. Okay, well,
Well, now
a
you
standard
see Buster.
rocket rush. I mean, they are using Buster. I will give them that. This game was decided before Buster even got involved, but that's just how that works now. Okay.
Wow. Sub 5 minutes.
Yeah. Just a rocket
We're
rush,
speed
all
running.
in. I mean, speed. That'll do it. That'll do it.
Yeah.
Very, very well done. Yeah. So that very technically, Buster does empower the rockets. This had no effect on eliminating the first opponent, and very technically had an effect on eliminating the second opponent. Although, not in a game affecting, not in a meaningfully effective manner. Let's go ahead and check out the replays so we could see the final moments of the players here, as the replays are going to be about as long as the round itself. I mean, it's just, look at it, it's just chunking through. And then the shotgun for the finisher. It's just, there's so much damage involved. It's just, like, you do. The answer is, you don't do anything. There is, the response to this involves scouting and having anti-air on the board before it gets fully up and running. Like, that is the response to this. Alright, well, Team Greenleaf wins round 1. So let's get set up for round 2 here and see how that goes. You know, the best part is they're also running Seep. They could just do the same thing again.
That would be great.
Like, this is not out of the cards. Like, they could just do round 1, but again. Which would be funny to me. Let's see, because it was Seep, Moonshine. Moonshine doesn't. I mean, I guess. I mean, it's a rocket rush. Any commander can do the rocket rush. Like a rocket rush is not a commander specific thing. But they do have the commanders which benefit from rocket rush. Or at least one of them. Alright, as we go into round 2, it's Snow Leopards. Conveniently, another map that works pretty well with rocket rushing. It's a little larger, but it's a little larger and therefore a little worse for it. A little less effective, but it's got enough vertical space to make it quite the effective strategy. I just kind of want to see if they're going to do it again. Same thing, but again. Alrighty then. The players are ready. The match is made. Let's jump into it. Round 2, Anime Gun Team versus Green Leaf. Let's see how it goes. And we're off. Here we have, on the left-hand side, in the blue, it is Anime Gun Team.
Oh, something happened.
Yeah, pause. You might want to restart this. Who is?
Yeah, I think
restart
is fair.
Yeah. Who's got pause power? It's. Okay, we're gonna restart this. Like,
yeah, just restart, I guess. Just quit and we'll run the match.
Okay.
Okay, let's go.
Let me try it again. Minor technical difficulty.
Again? How does this happen?
Pause.
Why
okay? Who is the referee, and why are we not on?
Oh, interesting. I got booted out.
Yeah, I mean that tends to
okay.
happen when these things go on. Alright, so it looks like we're going to drop back to lobby again.
Yeah, he will just restart his game and we'll see if that helps.
Yeah. Alrighty, minor technical difficulties.
I mean, we have time. We are still right in schedule, thanks to that lightning fast first game.
Yes. Alright, well, simple
Thanks
enough.
to Greenleaf for showing us that there is not only the campaign that you can speedrun.
Not only the campaign you could speedrun, oh my god. Okay. If he desyncs again, all we have to do is
try
pause
the
and wait for
non-moonshot
it.
version also.
Okay.
Don't worry. It should be fine, hopefully.
in my experience with this, it's just a matter. It can be resolved easily.
Okay, looks like it's
All right,
fixed.
we're all here. Great.
Yep. Okay.
Alrighty then. Problem solved. I was gonna say, in my experience with this kind of issue, it can also just be resolved by pausing immediately and waiting for them to rejoin. It's like a specifically an issue that happens on joining as opposed to randomness. Like, well, if you rejoin afterward, it'll work fine. But the point is moot. As we are in game, as here we have on the left-hand side, it's Anime Gun Team in the blue fort playing as the Buster commander. Now I want to know what they're gonna do with Buster. But they're playing against their opponents on the right hand in the red. It's Team Greenleaf as the Seep commander.
And
So-
it looks like Tar is doing workshop, so not rockets a second time for him.
Not double rocket rush all in, but it could still be a rocket rush though.
It could still be a
doubt it.
single rocket rush.
Yes, I doubt it's probably going to be swarm missiles from the lower position, and it may very well be rockets at the top position, but probably more shotgun than rocket. These are not mutually exclusive, though, I must say. What is that? That is a... You know, that's a base of all time.
Yeah, that is how can I say this? Modern art word.
Yeah, it's not level. Why must you do these things? You hurt my aesthetics. Alright, those rockets are shotguns. Those look suspiciously like rockets. Okay, I've got 2 rockets and a shotgun, looks like.
Yep.
Alright. 2 rockets, 3 rockets and a shotgun. Oh my god. Yeah, it's a rocket rush again.
Looks like
they're just doing a
is out
rocket
for
rush
blood.
Yeah. Except this time, Anime Gun Team is paying any amount of attention. They're getting anti-air involved. They're already trying to buzzsaw their way through it. So Anime Gun Team looks like they're going with the standard heavy weapons kind of path. Nothing particularly rushy, but heavy weapons nonetheless. Oh, it's not swarms. It's mortars and rockets. Actually, I think this is probably more dangerous than last time. Now he's expanding. Is he also going for swarms? I think he's also going for swarms. I'm gonna say, at this point, why not just get like 6 mortars? 7 mortars even. And just bash your opponents out of the game. Like, you got rockets plus mortars is a devastating combo. Okay.
Aggressive flak. Works out.
It does. Nice, taking the mortars out of this guy. And rockets.
They will probably want some machine gunners on top of that, but it's a good start.
It is. Oh, this is what I was talking about with it. You have to have defenses preempted, as this match has already gone longer than one of the players that existed in the previous time. Now, it is worth noting that Anime Gun Team does not have enough anti-air to defend against this, but as you can see, just having at least a little bit of anti-air to start with is enough to keep you in the game and just generally hold the line. You know, at least long enough to properly react to it.
Yeah, it looks like Greenleaf is late on their split.
It is. They are, and in doing so, it's oh ho ho.
And Tar's Forge is even less level now.
Yep, going with a modern art experience. Alright, so the lower fort for Anime Gun Team is just kind of beaten back to the Dark Ages at this point. It looks like they're refocused. Greenleaf is refocusing to attack the top fort in an attempt to prevent them from becoming a threat. And that looks like a somewhat successful endeavor. Odesan in the top fort has managed to get a 20 mil placed, which could be devastating. Or should I say, would be devastating if it were able to complete. The question is, will it complete? And it's looking not likely, but not impossible. Odesan is doing everything they can. Oh, that's a standard cannon. Oh, that's even better. Yeah, look at that. Team Greenleaf either doesn't know the cannon exists or isn't looking to... They're bouncing back and forth. They're just kind of suppressing Anime Gun Team without going for the kill. This is good for Anime Gun Team because it means that they will have time to get weapons of their own. And when they get weapons of their own, Team Greenleaf won't be ready for them. Because Team Greenleaf is like full-on aggressive, expending their income on more firepower, trading defense for offense.
The Ristian could just be one-shot by a cannon shot right now.
Yeah.
And that cannon is about to birdie.
Yeah, and well, Anime Gun Team loses a Blazer, but he'll have one shot, one opportunity here, and he's gonna have an opportunity. Does he make it? He takes it, and he doesn't get it. And just like that, the snipers are gonna go flying. The cannon, is gonna be dying. And with it, Anime Gun Team will be knocked out. Yeah, that's the end there. Mm-hmm. And there it goes. Team Greenleaf, in a very dominating and one-sided performance, just wipes Anime Gun Team out of the matchup. Holy smokes. That was not an even fight.
No.
Team Greenleaf just came in here, took their points, and left. They're already out of the lobby.
It really didn't have time for us.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay, well, the Lord may have mercy, but Team Greenleaf does not. Let's go ahead and check the replays on that so we can see what happened, because they just smashed, and that was the end of that. So what actually got the final hit here? Was it a rocket? Or a shotgun?
It was a shotgun. For Odesan.
Okay, yeah, it was the shotgun. I didn't...
Yeah.
I was like, did the rocket hit it, or was it a shot? It was a shotgun. Of course it's a shotgun. Then of course up here, the rockets caused the whole thing to come crumbling down. Yeah, okay. The rockets get the second one. Alright, well, there we have it. Team Greenleaf going 2-0 in this best of 3. That was fast. Alright, let's give us a few minutes while we get set up with the next lobby. So make sure to stand up, stretch, grab a drink, and I'll see you guys in about 5 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Forts Pro League, where we're going to be jumping into our fourth match here in a moment. I want to say welcome back, everyone. Hope you guys grabbed your drink, grabbed your popcorn, because we got a great match coming up here soon. Just a few minutes, actually, as it'll be Underwater Hogs as Dory Pixar, Bruce Pixar versus Team Beaten, Butterdog Neaton. I'm looking forward to this one. I'm looking forward to this one a lot. So we'll get to see how this one turns out. The players are here, so let's go ahead and jump into the map bands. Looks like Up and Down. Oh, Up and Down is banned. Snow Leopards is banned. Up and Down is banned. Interesting. We're starting out with Boonies 2v2. And Stalactites 2v2 is the second. Skylines banned. And the decider will be on Vanilla Large. Alrighty then. And the commander bands. Pinch Fist and Seep band. But for picks, it's Overdrive, Buster, Spook, and Armadillo Hurricane. Okay, interesting. I'm gonna say from Team Beaten, those choices are particularly safe. I'm not expecting any crazy strategies there. On the other hand, the fish team, a little bit crazy, a little bit wild in the options available to them. But it looks like we are good to go. The match is made, the players are ready. So let's jump into the action. No more waiting. Let's do this. Underwater Hogs versus Team Beaten. And we're off.
Right.
And we're starting out interesting. Here we have on the left-hand side, in the red, it is Team Underwater Hogs. Dory and Bruce are playing as the Buster commander. They'll be facing off against their opponents. It's Team Beaten on the right-hand side in the red, playing as the Spook commander. Now, Team Beaten is undefeated so far, and I do expect them to continue. If I were to be a betting man, I would bet that they would continue to be undefeated in today's activities as well.
But the Hogs are also undefeated in their group so far.
They are, and that both surprises me and fills me with joy. I remember the first time I saw this. I saw the Underwater Hogs, Dory and Pixar. I'm sorry, Dory and Bruce. I was like, oh hey, new players coming to the scene. They're new, and usually the new players get thrown to the sharks. And to be fair, they were, but they drew blood, like a lot of blood on the way down, like an impressive amount of blood on the way down.
And no one saw it coming anyway.
Yeah, and I was like, hold up, wait a minute. These guys are gamers, like real gamers. They're just missing a little bit of familiarity with the game that would take them to top tier. Except now they've been here a little while. So, they are going to be a real threat, and I'm looking forward. That's why I was looking forward to this match so much, because this is. I want to see how they handle Butterdog and Eaton here. So we'll get to find out. Now, in terms of map game state, we're seeing pretty similar builds. Nothing extraordinary. Not a whole lot of rushing or unusual activities. We do see an upgrade center and a tier 1 tech for... Okay, well, that's changing. Butterdog is doing a rocket rush, which implies that Eaton knows about it. But Eaton's going for what is just a kind of standard laser build, not super rushy, not crazy, not super fast, not super eco heavy or anything. Like no upgrade center. It's just a relatively quick laser build. And okay, so we'll get to see what that looks like. And then we are seeing a mild reaction from underwater hogs getting anti-air. But the underwater hogs are going cannons, which is not terribly surprising. They are playing the Buster Commander, which does empower cannons, so cannon spam is typically the way to go. But yeah, underwater hogs does have notable amounts of anti-air, so I'm expecting this rocket rush to get pretty mitigated, if not completely shut down. Yeah, that's how that goes. Alright, so rockets fly, they fail to launch. The anti-air knocks them out of the sky.
There is a pesky shotgun, which will have a lot of value very soon.
Oh yeah, that shotgun is absolutely going to be applying some serious pressure to the underwater hogs. It's just, I think it's not going to be enough, and I think those rockets are going to get sold off at some point because failure to get anything real done. On the other side, Beaton does have, sorry, I should have said Eaton specifically, does have triple fire beam, so it's fire beam spam, which is a lovely and horrible strategy to play against. Whereas for the underwater hogs, it's opening with a howitzer. Not only the opening with a howitzer, but it's at a good timing too, so Team Beaton's got a limited amount of time before they get lethal amounts of damage flying their way. Door sniping with an AP sniper. Shotgun goes down. That's going to shut down most of Beaton's early game pressure here. So without the shotgun, there's nothing to keep the anti-air suppressed. And with free range anti-air, those rockets are clear to...
Be sold, yeah.
Yeah, that's that's how that goes. So Butterdog fires his rockets, does get some damage, gets some hits, gets a response, but it didn't do any real damage, so to speak. And in exchange, Butterdog gets to sell off his rockets and transition to anything else as quickly as possible. Whereas Eaton's fire beams come online, looking to get that timing attack, manages to get pretty hefty damage onto Dory's cannon while it's under construction. And remember, the cannons cannot be, or weapons in general, cannot be repaired while they are under construction. So this is one of the benefits of the timing attack. It is how that works. You say, hey, I'm gonna use my somewhere between skill and fire beam production speeds to get this fire beam online and operational while your weapons are under construction. And then I'm going to use the fire beam to burn them out of the game before you can repair them. Like there's a brief window during that construction time where you can just rip out all of your opponent's weapons. Fortunately, Dory is a good enough gamer to sufficiently defend their cannon against fire beamage. And now Eaton's fire beams are not going to hit that timing attack. The cannon will be defended and be repaired. Bruce does get the howitzer online, fires it, but Butterdog was prepared for it. Already has a shotgun in play and sufficient APM to keep that howitzer in check. Firebeam takes
Those
out
Firebeams
the
are
20
evil.
mil. They really are. Just burning the 20 mil down. You'll hate to see it, you love to see it, but that's painful. Standard cannon ready, fire. Ooh, Eaton did not have sufficient defenses on his eco, but Dory doesn't quite land the shot. That was so close, that would have been devastating to Eaton. But Eaton recognizes the vulnerability, conveniently shown to him by Dory. And now, oh, the combo. Dory sniping out Butterdog's shotgun just in time for Bruce to follow it up. Butterdog takes a heavy hit. That's a lot of repair bill, and no longer has the NCR to defend against the follow-up howitzer shell. That's Butterdog's not in a good spot here. Eaton still bullying. Pain, but nothing he can't sustain. Oh boy. Yeah, okay, so underwater hogs, they are definitely punching up really, really hard. Like hard enough that it makes you wonder if they're even punching up at all. This is a good match. Like Eaton's going mass fire beams, but oh, he gets it sniped! Dory with the sniper takes out Eaton's firebeam. Okay. Eaton's selling his metal storages.
I mean, he doesn't need them.
I mean, if you
need any more
yeah,
big weapons,
you just never float.
he already
He's
has like a couple
float.
plasmas put down, so
Yeah. There's the 20 mil splashing its incendiary rounds around. And so far it's alright. I do want to point out the underwater hog's wonderful use of sandbags, keeping those fire beams from penetrating everything. Double plasma, triple fire beam by the 9-minute mark. It's a lot of damage. And oh,
okay,
no,
that's
it's
just
disconnected.
nose.
Howitzer flies. Shotgun makes it, takes it out. Alright, well, it looks like things are stabilizing. Both teams are sufficiently defended against the opponent's weaponry such that we're not expecting any significant damage to be dealt beyond a door snipe. Well
Looks like
aimed.
Eaton's god aim is not good enough.
Yeah, it's just too much mass, too much armor. Doesn't quite make it. Yeah. Dory's cannon almost penetrated down to the last strut, but it's not enough. Butterdog finally gets a cannon out on the field. Cannon placed in the position to end his own and ensure his own defeat if he gets door sniped. Speaking of door snipe, Bruce gets door sniped, losing a 20 mil in the process. By a sniper, so very literal sense. Butterdog just trying to stay alive. Just Those snipers are doing devastating work. Bruce losing his 20 mils to snipers of all things. But yes, the standard cannons out of Butterdog are perforating Bruce's base, and that's not a great experience for Bruce. Bruce, from Underwater Hogs here on the left-hand side, is struggling here. Like, yeah, it's he's taken Butterdog with him, but it's not a positive exchange. Butterdog is coming out on top. Whereas Dory versus Eaton, Nothing is happening there. It's just a full-on stalemate. It's just no one can hurt each other. That's just how that's going, which I think does actually favor Dory over Eaton, because eventually those cannons will outscale the fire beams. That's how it works. What's more,
I really want to see Butterdog collapse.
I don't think he's near collapse. They would have to do some terrible, terrible things with that howitzer, which could happen.
I mean, he basically just did a good punch there.
Yeah. I think this is going to turn into a race of sorts, where Butterdog is going to have to defeat Bruce before Dory defeats Eaton, is how I think this is going to go. Because Eaton, for all of his advantages, his current weapon set just doesn't scale as hard as Dory's weapon set. That's just how that works. And especially given that the underwater hogs are... Oh, the shield didn't come up in time. Oh no. Well, rip Dory's cannon. But especially considering that the underwater hogs are buster, and therefore they get guaranteed incendiary damage. That just makes them scale even harder. And that makes for a rather difficult situation for Eaton. Like, he cannot outscale Dory until he tech switches. That's just the state of the game. That's how that works. And so Eaton has to rely on door snipes, which he just got one, or try to focus fire with Butterdog, which he seems to be doing both of. And it's turning into a race of who gets the damage done first. Does Bruce fall, or does Butterdog fall, or does Eaton fall, is how that's going. And I'm genuinely not certain who's in the lead here regarding that. I suspect it may be Team Beaton, as Bruce is getting hit by quite a lot, but it is not clear to me. It's not clear to me at all. I do like the addition of the mortars. I suspect they are not long for this world, but I like the addition of the mortars. Okay. Oh, is that enough? Depend. Oh, so close. Yep, Eaton gets it. Eaton does actually penetrate Dory's cannons there. That's enough to break it. I'm surprised, but it did it. And Dory loses a cannon. That's big. That's a difference maker here. That changes the math on this. And it looks like they're changing targets as well. Butterdog, the new target, taking the combined firepower of the entire underwater hogs. But Bruce gets penetrated. His defenses have been bashed for most of this game, and it's just not enough to hold. He loses a mine in the process. A couple mines, it looks like. Yeah, it loses 2 mines in the process. Alright then, Dory down to 2 active cannons with a 3rd in progress. 3rd finishing up here in a few seconds, actually. The 3rd is in a position to hit Butterdog, so we may see Team Underwater Hogs just hard focus Butterdog here. That's, I think, the plan of action. Let Eaton do whatever Eaton wishes as they get cannons hitting Butterdog, and the 3rd is still recovering from its construction experience. A heavy hit. Dora gets penetrated. Secondary explosions, batteries going off all over the place. And for it, Dory's core goes down to 28%. Not a pleasant experience, but not enough to end the game. Dory's actually doesn't have enough armor to survive a full burn, again, like that. Okay. Fire beams, plasma beams, and the second. Bruce goes down. And there it is. Dory is the last one standing, at least Dory's base is the last one standing, as Underwater Hogs tries desperately to get some damage done. Dory snipes Eaton. Eaton loses a fire beam, but one fire beam does not defeat. And Underwater Hogs losing a couple mines. Losing, what is that, 3 mines lost in that volley? That's an unacceptable amount of damage taken. They're still focusing on Butterdog, which I think is the right play, but too little, too late. And Team Beaten takes round 1 in what was a beautifully back and forth match. Okay. I was expecting a good match, but that was amazing. Like, I didn't want to zoom in on anything because I was too scared of missing something going on somewhere else. Let's go ahead and check the replay on that. And lasers open it up for Butterdog's cannons to fly through. Sniping the core. Well done. Death by secondary explosion. Not even a door snipe, just triple plasma beam to the doors is enough to break through, detonate the cannon, and the cannon is enough to take the core with it. Well then, Beaten takes round 1 in this best of 3, as we get set up for the next round.
Wonder if they can sweep it.
Maybe. Honestly, I don't know. Like, I
We
would
haven't
still
gone-
bet.
Yeah, we haven't gone 3 games on any of these matches yet, have we?
Did we go 3 games on the first?
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't. Yeah, okay. So yeah, it has been 2-0. It's been close. It's been with the exception of the Greenleaf match, it's been a close set of matches each time, but it has been 2-0 each time. I suspect this will be the same. But oh man, Underwater Hogs is coming so close. Alright, so we're getting the commanders selected, and then we'll be ready for the next round. Like, I still suspect that Beacon is going to win this one, but they might... I would not be terribly surprised if Underwater Hogs takes a round off of them. That would be... I would like to see that. I would be incredibly impressed. I'm already incredibly impressed, to be clear. I would just be, like, speechlessly impressed at how quickly they've improved.
Yep.
Alright, the match is made. The teams are ready. Let's do this. And we're off. And it's a mirror match. Oh lord. On the left side, the blue team, we have Team Beaten, playing as the Overdrive Commander. They're facing up against their rather worthy opponents, the Underwater Hogs, Bruce and Dory, playing as the Overdrive Commander. So this will be an interesting one. Overdrive Commander doesn't specialize in like any specific strategy. I'm not looking out to see, oh, this is going to be, they're playing Seep, therefore it's going to be nukes, or they're playing Scattershot, therefore it's going to be 20 mils. Nothing like that. Overdrive's kind of a general use commander. Little bonuses to everything, but no significant like a niche that it fits with. General eco bonuses and upgrades, which are bonuses to upgrades, which kind of apply to everything, so nothing crazy here. We do see upgrade center starts for each team. Not a surprise. Overdrive, being a generalist commander, can do anything. This could just be a rocket rush if they really wanted it to. Team Beaten, not known for their rocket rush affinity, so I think it won't be that. I can only assume it's going to be howitzers. Howitzers is kind of good on this map. And given the placement of Butterdog's workshop, I assume it's going to be selling off that workshop. Why does he have a workshop? He's not going to be selling off that work. That workshop is there purposefully. It has a plan. I don't know what it is. Is he really going portal nukes from that position? Is that what's going on here? We do see it's portal nukes from that position. I'm a little surprised, but it's a good strat. We do see cannons out of underwater hogs, so it's going to be, is that going up to howitzers? We don't have the extra placement for howitzers yet, so it's going to be probably standard cannons and howitzers out of underwater hogs. They're going for what is a otherwise fairly common standard howitzer build. It's meta for a reason, because it's good. We do see upgrades in all fields. Everyone's getting their eco upgrades, so we're not looking to see some minimum timing on rushing or something of the sort. So it's going to be a nice casual stroll up to heavy weapons, and then they're going to get punchy. Going to get real punchy. And it is certainly going to be howitzers from Bruce on the top right, and it will be, I presume, cannons from Dory in the bottom right. On the left-hand side, we do see investment into lasers, so we're going to see the energy weapons. It might be fire beams, might be plasma beams, could be both. It's usually both. Mix of both. I like to see what Butterdog's doing here. Investing in 2 nukes before going to the 4 launcher pattern, because it just hits earlier and applies pressure. Swarm missile launchers are so very expensive. It is going to be plasma beam, fire beam from Eaton rather than fire beam spam. I think we may see second. Okay, well, Eaton, what are you doing? Are you doing what I think you're doing? You're gonna put a plasma there. No, you're gonna put a fire beam in front of your core, aren't you? He's probably gonna put a fire beam in front of his core. I'm gonna check on that later. Butterdog getting the nuke up for the portal nukes. Dory doing triple cannon in front of the core. This is a potentially lethal decision. Specifically because Eaton is going lasers with fire beams. Those cannons in that position in front of the core could just immediately result in Dory's defeat. We do see the first nuke launched. There's no anti-air, but you don't need anti-air with only 1 nuke. They just catch it and repair with no consequence. Mm-hmm. Bruce is getting
The
the
dog
howitzer
immediately
online.
going on the sniper.
Yeah, I mean, that's both of these teams, apparently. A little bit more beaten than Underwater Hogs. Like, Underwater Hogs does have good sniper, but Team Beacon is just so much more familiar. Like, it shows. And snipers, as everyone is well aware at this point, are just oppressive little fiends.
Three cannons by 6 minutes is impressive.
It is. It is. It's greedy, but it's impressive.
And with the howitzer, it might be... Well, there are miniguns and other ways of anti-air, so...
Yeah, Butterdog could just get wiped out of the field here. Dory doesn't quite.
Now's the time.
And follow up. Massive damage.
Wow.
There it is.
And elimination.
Butterdog goes down.
This team is insane, I love them.
It is. It is. Oh, they're trying desperately to reconnect to that. Do they get to it in time? I think they get to it in time. I don't know. It might get ripped off the foundations there. No, they keep it. Alright. Those nukes remain intact, and with it, much of the damage output of Team Beaten. However, Team Underwater Hogs has reloaded and is ready to fire again. They're sitting there waiting with the doors already open. So the howitzer flies. Minigun anti-air. Oh, they're going for the nukes. They know. They know. Yeah. Ooh. Good damage. Dory takes a pretty heavy hit. We'll have to reconstruct those batteries, but nothing that will cripple them beyond function. Mm-hmm. Alright, the nukes launch. And are completely shut down. Which means the Underwater Hogs get another opportunity to volley. Underwater Hogs don't have enough sniping action going on. They need snipers or shotguns or something of the sort to permit the howitzer to get across, and they don't have that right now. That's something that the Underwater Hogs do struggle with a little bit. That said, they do have a shotgun constructed, and with it active, they should be able to suppress Team Beaten sufficiently for the howitzer to actually cross the field. They need to be active with that shotgun and active with their snipers, not that they have a sniper right now, in order to maintain that kind of pressure. There it is.
Ethan going to 3 fire beams.
It's a lot of fire damage. Oh, the nuke's dodging. But Dory catches it. Relatively harmlessly.
They should really try to destroy that connection.
They really should. Howitzer flies.
That's gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt. Oh, that might be lethal. And it is.
Yep.
Cannons get penetrated and Dory falls. And with Dory going down, most of the actual firepower from the team goes with it. But that triple cannon was very important. The the cannons, at least 2 of the cannons did survive, but yeah, I was gonna say not for long. They're not sufficiently protected anymore. Eaton knows this and is ripping them off of Dory's one space.
That is a way to tank a nuke.
It is. I mean, just tank it straight to the core. Underwater Hogs down to 57%. Those nukes out of Team Beaten are out for blood. Another volley of nukes. And it hits. And so it flies. Alrighty then. God. Okay, so at this point, Team Beaten is stabilized, I would say, after losing their player. As has Underwater Hogs. So things are kind of going into this stalemate back and forth phase where they're kind of feeling each other out, and something needs to change in order to break that stalemate. Underwater Hogs are trying to break down the anti-air from Team Beaten and land that howitzer, but without follow-up to any kind of critical component, there's just not much left in the Beaten upper base. Like, Underwater Hogs needs to change their target to make the difference here. Oh, that's huge. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so Team Beaten just penetrated Underwater Hogs' defenses. The nukes made it across. How is that cannon still alive?
Willpower.
And... oh man, they managed to sell it off too to get the money back. That's pretty big.
I don't think it would be enough though.
Yeah, I think it won't be enough. At this point, Underwater Hogs, they lost too much position and map control, and Beaten is just beating them out of the game at this point. Like, Underwater Hogs, they still have weapons, they're still a threat, they still have shotguns, they still have map control tools. It's just, they have less than Team Beaten, and Team Beaten isn't vulnerable to any one thing in particular. And every time Underwater Hogs tries to do something, Beaten uses their just superior map control. Just snipers and bait weaponry and machine gunners and such to pick something apart from Underwater Hogs. And it's gotten to the point where the difference in material is so much larger for Team Beaten that it's difficult for Underwater Hogs to even do something at this point, as every time they try to do something they get punished by an overwhelming force. They're not in a death spiral, so to speak, but Team Beaten is big and they have a lot under their arsenal. They're using it constantly. That shotgun, that EMP shotgun combo for Underwater Hogs is keeping Team Beaten just in check and preventing them from running away with this game. It's just, I think it won't be enough. Look, there's not enough anti-air. There's a shotgun left. They're trying to use, Underwater Hogs are trying to use the buzzsaws for anti-air, but it just, that's it. New clans, laser follow-up, and Team Beaten takes victory in this matchup. Very, very well done.
Well done.
Oof. Alright, well, there we have it. Let's go ahead and check out the replays, as we have Team Beaten winning 2-0 in this best of 3. That was a wonderful back and forth. Butterdog going down so quick, so early. That combo attack was so exquisitely well done. Just the build order, getting all 3 cannons up by the 6.5 minute mark, and then comboing it perfectly with the howitzer. Like just enough suppression to guarantee the howitzer lands, and then just the beautifully aimed and timed triple cannon. Oh, that was so good. But at the end of the day, just the pure, I'm going to describe it as like pure APM and pressure coming from the beaten team was enough to edge out the underwater hogs. But that was close. That was quite close. Alrighty, well, Team Beaten gets their points in today's FPL match, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Forts Pro League.
That was really, that was awesome. Really cool to see just really high skill play on that last game there. It seemed really kind of even, but obviously Eaton and crew just have that upper edge, you know?
It's just a little bit more activity with the snipers, a little bit more activity with their machine guns, a little bit more activity with their weapons, just being on the spot in a way that Dory and, the Hogs team just didn't quite have, and that was the difference. No. Like, the strategy-wise, they were similar. Like, strategy-wise, Dory and Bruce, they just straight up eliminated Butterdog, just on a strategic, they did their plan literally better than Team Beaten did. It's just Team Beaten managed to bring it back by virtue of sniping things when they had the opportunity and just comboing their weapons better. It's just, that was like, oh my god, we got outplayed. We're gonna have to like sit up in our chairs and outskill this, out APM this, because Beaten was getting beaten right up until the point when they weren't.
Yeah.
They just pulled off that sick shot every time.
To find out if the Hogs can, scale up a bit more and try to beat these guys.
Yeah, that was impressive, is what that is. Alrighty then, well, that is going to be it for our forts tonight. As you guys may know, I do have our usual streams where we'll be doing more community interaction, and we'll be starting that off right after we spin down the Forts Pro League here. So I will see you guys in a few minutes, and I'll see you guys in next week's video as we have yet another Forts Pro League video coming up. And I'll see you guys there.
Thanks, everybody.